Welcome into the everydayfan.com podcast. I'm your host, Jack Neary. We also have Mr. Paul Casanova. We have Liam in here, and we've also got special guest Steve Madison coming at you from the TRoss Podcast. Today we're talking hoops, so I hope you guys enjoy the show.
Okay. You also forgot Lamar, though. We got Lamar up there, man.
I didn't know Lamar was in. I didn't see this.
He's got everything.
What's up, Lamar? How are you?
He's going on. He's kicking it. All right.
Yeah. I didn't see the emote. I didn't see the stuff. I'm sorry, Lamar.
It's all good.
All right. Thanks everybody for coming back again. Of course, the podcast today is sponsored by the everydayfan.com. As always, please come and check us out. Something for everybody. We're going to jump right in though. We got our special guest today is Stephen Madison, better known as Potsy. The man is, I don't know if you guys know this, but the man is a basketball guru, okay? Not only can he play, but I'm pretty sure that he's one of the more knowledgeable people that I've ever heard speak about the game. So I'm very happy to have him here today. Mr. Madison, how are you?
I'm doing great, man. Doing really good. And I don't know if I'm a guru, but I know some things.
Okay. If I'm not mistaken, you had a great career, though, at the University of Idaho. Is that right? Yes, I did pretty well there. Ended up third all-time scoring, played the most games. That's one of the more prouder moments, actually. Never missed a game. Yes, sir.
Injury-free, was lucky. So
21 points a game his senior year. Let's not forget that, because he was, I have to say this because I've been doing a lot of, he was everything for that team in that final year. In fact, I believe the article I read was Mr. Everything. So it was, but that's pretty great, man. And not only that, but you had some great players that were on your team too, right? Some pretty good players that you played with along the way.
Oh yes, definitely. A lot of my buddies are, still playing professional basketball in Europe or Asia. And so we had a great opportunity in high school and in college to play with a lot of great players for sure.
And also, if I'm not mistaken, did you not take a trip to Ireland after that, or Iceland? I mean,
so I had I had a chance to play in Lithuania for a little bit, and Iceland, and then the NBA G League. So had my opportunities to see the world, play a little basketball, play professional, and then it kind of hit home. I had a daughter my senior year of college, so it made it a little tough to be away, and made the decision to come home.
That is it. Okay. I have to bring it up, especially since you went right there to the thingy. Don't tell
me you have the picture of me holding the baby carriage.
I have the picture of the baby holding. Is that it right there? Can you see it?
Yes, I can see it.
So that's the one I wanted the explanation on, but that's okay. I think we got the explanation now.
Man.
But yeah, actually, I love that, man.
There's a funny story with that. So we just got done with practice, and they called me like, "Oh, we want to do an article on you and your kid," and so I'm like, or like having a kid. I'm like, all right. And I show up and I take these pictures, and I was super sick. And I'm holding that thing, and I'm like, get me out of here, please. And then like literally right after I get out, I step out the door and just start throwing up everywhere. But hey, it turned out for a decent picture of me holding the baby carriage.
It was good, and it was actually a great article too. I think that was the one in there where they called you Mr. Everything, something inside of there. But yeah, great article. But I love the picture. There was 1,000 pictures of you, obviously, of playing ball here, there, everywhere. But yeah, that one I had to just snag up.
That's great.
But so how did you like Iceland though? 22 points a game though. You jammed it out over there.
Yeah. So Iceland was one of my favorite places to go just because it was very Western. I was shocked that everybody spoke very good English. If you're under the age of 50, you spoke like perfect English. So some of the guys, I'm like, "Are you from America?" And they're like, "No, they're not." But a lot of them, their families would come and work in America, so they would end up living in America for a couple of years and then move back. Wow. But Iceland's a great place. If you guys have never been, go check it out. Reykjavik. It's not big, small, but it's a cool place to go for sure.
Sweet.
Blue Lagoon too. The Blue Lagoon. Shout out the Blue Lagoon.
So real quick though, before we move on, what happened to your career? Was it just family time to move on, or
Yeah, it was a little bit of both. Like I was playing well, I was doing it, but it's like one of those things where when you're living in a place, like you can see the sights so much, but then you're just spending a lot of time alone. Like that's the grind. Like people don't realize, like when you're in Europe, like, and I shout out all my friends that like are playing over there, like it's a grind. It's nice. You can make good money.
Oh, I bet.
But at the same time, you're spending a lot of time alone. Like, cause everybody else on your team, they have families and lives. It's not like you're just it's not like a college where you're able to just hang out with all your buddies and do everything all the time, but you're spending a lot of time alone. And so you're really grinding. And so that wears on you. And then obviously having like, my daughter in my back of my head all the time, I'm just like, it's hard to be away. So,
because they were in America, right? So
yes.
You left and then they stayed here. So.
Yeah, they stayed here.
Okay. Yeah, that's tough, man. Well, I mean, that's cool though, because you've got the experience that a lot of us, only could dreamed of and wish we had. So that's pretty cool in its own right.
Kudos to you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, you've got Seinfeld, the Stones, and the spirit of the game. What a fantastic background. I mean, that's Kramer, though, right? That's Cosmo right behind you?
This is Cosmo right here. I'm trying to get a little more decked out. I'm trying to get as much as possible on my wall, trying to get it all everywhere.
1 points a game is fantastic. But you know what's more fantastic is that you played every game. Like, you didn't take the games off because, you needed a manicure, your ankle was a little sore. I mean, no, but seriously. No, but that's a real thing. That's a real thing, though. I like guys that play. I want guys that go out there and dive for loose balls and play every game. Like, that's right. You took your basketball overseas because you were that good. Well, at least you thought you were, right?
Yeah. No, definitely. I mean, that's like – and I coach now a lot of younger guys. So I try to tell them, like, you got to play. I was hurt in a lot of games. Like, my highest scoring game in college, I had 42. I turned my ankle at halftime, and I played the second half. I was able to score 20 in the second half. And I couldn't move laterally. I can just go straight forward. But, like, that was definitely one of my biggest accomplishments. And that's, like, to my parents, probably my dad. It's just like, you gotta be in every single game. And it's a competitor in you. If you're a competitor and it's not going to hurt you, you're going to stay out there. So I was lucky not to get injured. That's a big thing.
Yeah, but when you did get injured and banged up a little bit, you still went at it. I love that. I love that. I like guys that go out there and tough it out.
For sure.
Also, Stephen is up there in Washington. Am I correct?
Yes, I'm in Spokane. Shout out to the Gonzaga Bulldogs, even though they just
and that's where we're headed right now, just because of that. Let's talk a little bit about that game, guys. Baylor, Gonzaga. Baylor took control, just handled that. I'm going to say this with a smile. Potsy, how did you feel, though? Because I know you wasn't expecting that. I know you was not expecting that onslaught.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't. But I don't know if you guys heard the Baylor coach, but their grad assistant played at Gonzaga, and he gave him a lot of credit for helping them with their game plan. So Rem Backamus is his name. He's actually from my neck of the woods in Vancouver, and he played at Gonzaga as a walk-on, and then got his GA, or he wanted to be a grad assistant to be a coach, and he went to Baylor, and he's on the Baylor staff, so he won a title with them. And so that helped him a little bit, but I was definitely shocked. I think Baylor's athleticism really shocked Gonzaga. The pressure, the physicalness of it. I think the refs let it go a little bit more than Gonzaga thought.
Oh, yeah.
But I also questioned Gonzaga's game plan. I know they switch a lot of ball screens, but that's where I was a little thrown off. Like, they put Timmy in a lot of situations to guard guys that are incredibly quick, and then it took him away from offensive rebounding and playing 4 guards. It's tough. It's tough to have him so far away from the hoop.
100%. Real quick, I'll go to Jack, because Jack actually had Baylor pegged from the get-go. I mean, no matter how hard I tried to get him to go on Gonzaga's side, and I tried because I had all this. No, but they, and Jack, nope. Baylor's going to do it, and he's got. So, Jack, how did you know that they were going to do what they were going to do?
It was actually. I'll tell you what. It was almost a losing bet. It was midway through the year, and it was Baylor against West Virginia. And I didn't think Baylor was going to cover, but I thought they'd beat West Virginia. There was a lot of hype surrounding Baylor coming into the year. That December 5th meeting with Baylor and Gonzaga didn't happen. But I thought that the going and playing Huggins teams was going to be a huge battle, and it turned out to be. And at the end of the game, when Baylor needed buckets, they were able to go to every single one of their guards. And for me, I just sat there and I went, man, they could get a bucket from Butler. They can get a bucket from Mitchell. They can get a bucket from almost anybody. How are you going to guard 3 to 4 guys, plus that guy, the real tall guy off the bench? He almost has like a mullet. He kind of reminds me of Larry Bird. He's unconscious. Yeah. He just jacks threes. How are you going to pressure this? Yeah. I think Steve hit the nail on the head as well by saying that Baylor, in my opinion, and maybe I'm putting the cart, but Baylor's athleticism, it was just more. They were just quicker off the ball. And I thought they had 3 or 4 guys to where Gonzaga had 2.
Right. Liam, I know you're itching at this. Go for it, my man.
So just to address a couple points. One, anytime we have to address a Mountaineers loss, it hurts a little bit. I went to West Virginia for a year. That game sucked. Secondly, I definitely thought that Gonzaga was the team of destiny after they hit the shot against UCLA. 100%. But I look back on it, and I really am mad at myself because I think that I should have seen this coming. Also, I want to shout out Coach Scott Drew because what he did after the Deneby murder in, I want to say 2003, and rebuilding this Baylor program to their first title, I think is nothing short of amazing. He's a commendable coach.
For sure.
Baylor, before COVID wiped the season last year, had won like 24 or 25, something like that, straight games. And they had 2 losses this year, right? Both coming after they didn't play for a few, both coming after, hiatuses due to their COVID struggles this year. One was even a 3-week layoff. I think they lost to Kansas.
The last one was in the tournament, I believe.
Yes, I believe you're right. And these dudes look like football players. Like, I don't know if they're training with the Baylor football team, but these dudes don't look like basketball players. And they are so much more athletic than, Gonzaga. They're so much more athletic than a bunch of white guys. And they out-physicaled them at the point of attack. They out-rebounded them. They out-hustled them. The game plan was so good. And I don't know if Gonzaga thought that they could just outscore them. But, yes, they hit that shot against UCLA. You got no business giving up 90 points to UCLA in the Final Four when when Baylor is, manhandling Houston, a much better team, in my opinion, than UCLA. I mean, UCLA played way above its head. I think Johnny Juzang made himself maybe even a lottery pick. But I think the warning signs were there. And not to mention, Baylor throughout the year, they knocked off, I think, 8 top 25 seeds, maybe 9 throughout the course of the schedule. Meanwhile, Gonzaga's playing Pepperdine. So maybe I should have seen this coming. I'm kind of mad at myself for not. Jack, good call, my man.
Thank you, sir. The thing is that here's the real question, okay? Because at the end of the day, listen, Baylor is better than Gonzaga, okay? The real question is, does Gonzaga need to join the Pac-12?
That is a good question. Lamar? We can't, you're on mute, buddy.
Yeah, Baylor is way more athletic than Gonzaga, and the switching, they're making Timmy play defense on the perimeter. It's kind of like what Gonzaga was doing to UCLA. They was picking and rolling, and UCLA was dumb enough to keep switching, putting the small man on Timmy, and it was just killing him inside. That's why UCLA lost that game. And got Baylor, who's athletic, 16 offensive rebounds, and they was hitting the outside shots. It was pretty much a wrap after that.
Yeah, that is true. To me, it looked like Gonzaga got shocked. They came out, they got punched in that face when they came out. And by the way, though, when you look at it, Gonzaga did not play poor defense at that beginning. They were on Baylor. Baylor was just hitting those 3 shots. They were going over the top of the defender and hitting the shots. They were falling. So when they fell, they got to 16-4 or something like that. Then you could see the look and the body language on Gonzaga players where they were the only one who didn't, to me, was Suggs. And I want to talk a little bit about him only because we hear so much about Cade Cunningham. Is Suggs not just as good? And I'll start with him. Is he not just as good? Go ahead.
I got you. Can I address one more thing about the Pac-12 thing?
Sure.
Gonzaga joined the Pac-12. That's the money. It'd be a difficult transition, obviously, because it'd just be their only sport. It'd be the only men's basketball. I guess women's basketball. They're really good at women's basketball, also.
That's true.
But not having football. Is the Pac-12 going to want Gonzaga in there? I guess for money-wise, yes. Are the other teams going to want to play them? Probably not. And I don't know if Gonzaga's want to play those guys on a nightly basis. Yeah. I don't think it hurts them. They schedule tough games, though. They schedule tough games all in the preseason. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
to just kind of move up, just to hit that extra bar, like.
What about Mountain West? What about Mountain West? What about the Mountain West, where you play San Diego States and Boise State? It's teams like that.
Something. No. I believe, but I think that needs to be a conversation in the room now. Are we joining the Pac-12? Are we joining the Mountain West? Is also a nice option. I mean, because you got to start. You have to play the San Diego States. You have to play teams like that, and not just in the beginning when their talent level is basically, they're getting themselves together, and a win against. Yeah, a good school, but not one that's quite ready.
Yeah.
Right? You grow as the season goes on, that.
Yeah.
And I want to see you playing a team that's been together for 10, 12 games. That's when I can evaluate you.
Yes, but what about Gonzaga having the most wins in the last 5 years in the tournament? I mean, that's something special. Like, people want to downgrade what they've done, and they still are beating the good teams in the tournament and getting further than these other mainstream programs. Like, I think Gonzaga is they're at the top. They're top 3 program right now. They're going to get the best players. They're going to get the Chet from Minnesota, the 7'1" guy that's a top 5 pick or top 5 prospect. They're going to keep getting these guys. And it just makes it difficult. I see what you're saying. Like, yes, it's good. It's good in a way, and I can see why they should go to a different conference. But at the same time, I don't know. And they tried to do that. They already tried to leave. And they forced the hand of the WCC to give them all their money or give all the profits from all the TV games and keep it. So they kept them in the conference.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I understand.
Everything comes down to that almighty dollar. Don't forget that. Everything's about the almighty dollar. We could want them to go someplace because the games will be better, because they'll be whatever. But when it comes to the money is going to rule the day anyway. So.
And the kid with the mullet, he's a trailer park Larry Bird. Don't disrespect Larry Bird. Please. Please.
He comes in, he shoots the ball. No one even says a word to him. The first thing he does is shoot. He doesn't say hi to anybody, clap hands. He shoots the ball. And I go, look at this. He doesn't even. Nobody even told him not to shoot it. He's 1 for 2 or 2 for 3. He's got no conscience.
Seriously.
Matthew Meyer was that team's best pure scorer. I'll ride with it.
That's him. Yep, that's him.
I've never seen – I'll tell you this, though. I told someone else this. I've never seen so many between-the-leg pull-up three-pointers in a college game that were made, but in that championship game. There were so many isolation three-pointers that were just – that you see in NBA. You see Kyrie. You see these other guys do. But at the college level, for them to consistently hit that, I mean, it's tough. It's tough to beat a team like that.
And with the way that, like you said, they were letting that game go, I mean, I was tweeting out, could you imagine the NBA letting a game be played the way that one was played? Like,
yes, please.
I mean, yeah, no, I would love it, but they would never. I mean, come on, those were flagrant fouls. Every single one of them were NBA flagrant fouls. Like, we would have had 3 people ejected if that was the NBA by the halftime.
No way. That's how they play basketball in Idaho. Every game, every play.
Throwing potatoes at each other.
Come on, let's not do that to Idaho. No, they're probably proud of you too.
No, well, I'm serious. They play tough out there. I want to see tough basketball and the art of the game. I don't want to see 47 3-pointers. Let's set another record for threes and no defense.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and move us along a little bit here, though, real quick. Let's get into the NBA. Although that was great and I loved it, and Baylor deserves everything that they accomplished. And again, too, Gonzaga has nothing to be ashamed of. You lose one game in the year, pat yourself on the back and go away proud and enjoy what you got. But let's get a little bit to the NBA, and I want to go to the Bucks and the Lakers to start us off because they both made some moves. The Lakers are in your neck of the woods, Lamar. I know you're kind of into the Lakers. What do you think about getting Drummond?
Like it, another big guy. Score inside, rebound, take some of the pressure off Gasol, take some of the pressure off Davis when they all come back healthy, And in the few minutes he played in that first game, I like what I saw. He was catching alley-oops, looked active. And the main thing is rebounding, man. That guy's a beast on the boards.
It's funny how everybody gets a spring in their step when they finally go away from where they don't want to be, huh? He was bouncing and doing that same old thing he always did. But where was that a week ago before that? But anyway,
modern day basketball.
Exactly. Liam, What do you think? What do you think of it?
One anonymous NBA GM said it best. Andre Drummond could score 30 points and have 20 rebounds and have no real impact on the game. Except now, if he gets to the playoffs with a fully healthy Lakers team and sticks within his role.
My computer bag, my charger.
Sorry. So if he is with a fully healthy Lakers team in the playoffs and sticks to within his role of like being a rim guard, not really a rim protector, but like, you know, being the big body that he is there and grabbing 12 to 15 rebounds, then yeah, he serves an invariable purpose to what the Lakers want to accomplish, especially against, you know, you think about the other teams who they might have to face in the heat of the West playoffs. I mean, they're going to be able to out-rebound the Clippers pretty significantly. They'll be able to out-rebound Phoenix pretty significantly. They'd be able to absolutely Portland or, you know, Utah. Gobert will grab his rebounds. But if you have Anthony Davis and Andre Drummond, well, they're going to get the boards over Gobert. So, I mean, like, it's a great move for them if he stays within the role and the Lakers are healthy. If he has to do more than what they want him to do, then I don't think it's anything.
Whoa, hold on. Backpedal on the out-rebound the Clippers. They just got DeMarcus Cousins. Let's just keep that
That's
there.
right.
Oh, you're on that one.
I'm just messing with you.
No, they had to, because they had to stay up with the Lakers and they had to stay up with the Nuggets. I mean, let's be real. Those Nuggets right now, that offense is looking like, how do you stop them?
I forgot the Nuggets too. Yeah, now they can rebound athletically too, you know, pretty well.
MPJ may not be a defender, but he can rebound. He always almost gets his double rebounds, and he is a fire. I mean,
he's 6'10" and athletic. He should. He can move. He should get rebounds, man. It's an effort.
Yeah,
it's an effort thing. It's an effort thing.
Just a pretty boy.
The problem with him is that they keep him on the outside. Malone keeps him guarding somebody on the outside when he needs to stay down low, because he gets blocks when he's down low. He can manage that when he doesn't have to move. When he has to go and guard and move and guard somebody, that's when he has troubles. But if you play him right, I mean, right now they're looking good, and you know, I can't just say that just because that's my team, but you know, they really do look good finally for the first time. Believe me, I've been a fan of theirs for 40 years and never have I been this happy. So, you know, I gotta say something at least about it, right?
You forgot saying that Ben McLemore also joined the Lakers. I don't know if you guys have thoughts on that.
True. That's true. Does he do anything?
I actually like that.
It's a good pickup for sure.
Ben McLemore can definitely shoot the ball. You know, he what he lacks in other areas, he's going to give you nice he's going to give you 12, 15 points just from the 3-point line. He stretches the floor well. And I don't think there's a big difference between, and I know people love this guy, but I don't think there's a big difference between Buddy Hield and Ben McLemore.
Yeah. I don't know. I like McLemore's toughness though too. I like the way he plays. So to me, that means a lot. You know, sometimes that can mean more than I mean, like we said earlier, you can score all those points and not have no impact. But a guy like that, he's going to have an impact even if he does have 3 points. Somewhere along the way, he's going to do something to help them out.
A bunch of games in the Key Arena. Sat at the top floor. Dale Ellis, Hersey Hawkins, Dallas Shrimp. Those are my guys. The Rain Man.
Loved that team.
I was diehard Sonics guy. Then I moved to Portland, and I just kind of fell. When they moved and everything. But I saw KD play his last college game in Spokane in the NCAA tournament, came back to Portland and told everybody draft him before Greg Oden, and it didn't happen. But I was happy that the Sonics got him, and obviously it sucked they moved.
It did. So are you a Portland fan now?
No.
Nobody's?
No. Well, once I like became a lot better at basketball and had saw myself having a future in it, I just kind of became a fan of watching good basketball and watching, you know, players and stuff like that. And leaving Seattle, it was tough to be a fan of anybody else. But I got to go back and play in the Key Arena versus Seattle University, and that was a really cool thing. That was a really cool experience for me to play there. So
that's awesome.
Very sweet. Very sweet. Yeah, that was a great team. I loved them. I can't understand for the life of me still how come they left or how they even let them leave. But yeah, that was.
Ballmer, bring the Clippers to Seattle. Do it.
You heard it right here, right now. That would be a great team to head up there too. By the way,
that would be a cool move because Ballmer has the energy for that.
And the Kraken too. You got the Kraken, you got the hockey team. I mean, it's the Mariners who suck, but hey.
Yeah, we'll see how long Russell Wilson's there too.
Hey, he's staying. Dunlap said that. I just seen an article. Dunlap said he's staying.
Really?
My
Dunlap's a big guy.
First round picks next year. Make him an Eagle, baby.
Yeah, because I think he they could say that now, but I mean, honestly, after all the way egos are nowadays with these players and stuff, sometimes I once you get into that whole, are we going to trade him? Are we going to, then those egos start coming into play, and then now I don't want to be here no more because you hurt my feelings, and So to me,
I've actually thought about that. I've thought about the whole Russell Wilson thing. And to me, so he's not as agile and quick as he was when he first came out of college. He spent some years in the league. Obviously, he's gotten banged up. He's not a huge athlete. He's a smaller guy. He's super shifty. And I thought that as he slows down a little bit, wouldn't Soldier Field fit his game better? Right? The way it's a real field and it's sloppy sometimes, and he would look quicker on that field. I know you want him to stay in Seattle, but it's still just if you let that idea marinate, I think he'd be quick and would look great in Chicago.
Andy Dalton, they got him. They got the Red Rocket. They're
good. Yes, they do.
They went for Wilson, but
as Russ
Seattle said no.
Sorry, go ahead, Lamar.
I said Chicago went for Wilson, but Seattle said no.
Yeah, I also can't see as Russ gets slower how the freezingness of the Windy City will do on his joints. Seattle's no
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not warm up in Seattle all the time either.
But it's not Chicago. I mean,
the sloppier field slows down defenders, and I think he's more shifty than he ever was straight line speed. And I believe that type of field could lend to his later years. I'm not saying it's going to be perfect there. It is windy. It's a tougher city, but I just think I think the whole city of Chicago could wrap their. I know. The Red Rocket, right? The Red Rocket's fantastic, but
let me just get
champion Nick Foles.
Hey, it hurt me to see Russell saying also the Cowboys. That was hard to hear.
It hurt me too. It hurt me so bad.
I know.
So bad.
Real quick, let's get right into the Celtics, and then we'll go ahead and just end that right there. But that way I can fill in that part there. But the Celtics are interesting only because of how bad they are for as good as the team that they are. And then today we get the word that Brad Stevens, once again, Arizona is calling. Will he go to Arizona? I've seen that all day today, but it isn't just Arizona, as Liam said. Isn't there somebody else that was in the list? Was it you or was it Jack?
Was it Indiana that wanted them too?
That's right, Indiana.
Right, the Hoosiers were looking at him.
So does Brad Stevens stay, and what's wrong with the Celtics?
All right, let me from a coach's standpoint, I had a chance to coach at Idaho for a year at Division I level. I don't know if NBA coaches want to go back to college. It's such a different aspect of you're traveling all the time, recruiting, whatever it is, you're always traveling. Off season. As an NBA coach, it's a lot, to me, from what I've seen, it's a lot better gig. I mean, obviously you still have to do things, but you're not having to travel, be away from your family as much on a yearly basis as you do in the NBA. And I just don't see that. I just don't see Brad Stevens going back there. Obviously, they're in a tough time with the Celtics, but if he was to get fired or whatever happens with him with the Celtics, obviously another NBA team would pick him up in a heartbeat. So I don't see that. And the money obviously isn't a big deal either.
So do you see that he's a problem at all in Boston, or is it Danny Ainge?
Ooh,
or is it just underachieving players? Because
hey, I know Peyton Pritchard. I'm a big Peyton Pritchard guy, but I don't know if he's the answer.
Player.
But they just have a lot of issues. I don't know. I think they're a little bit soft to me when I see them play. I like Evan Fournier too, but I don't think that helps their toughness. And they get rid of Tice. Tristan Thompson's Obviously a joke. LeBron got him $90 million. And
you hear that, Tristan?
They just have had some, you know, they have talent. Don't get me wrong. They have a lot of talent.
Yeah.
But they're just not putting it together now. I don't know if that's Brad's fault, if it's Danny Ainge's fault. It's probably just collectively, you know, everybody.
Liam?
I guess if I had to say if it's like one person's fault over the other, I would actually say Danny Ainge. But like my actual argument is that like it's kind of both of their faults. And like I'll explain. Danny Ainge, like he gets lauded as, you know, and revered and adored around the NBA. You know, he's one of these top executives year in and year out. Is he? Like the dude has pulled the trigger one time. And he got Kevin Garnett, and he won a championship. He had the opportunity to pull the trigger on, well, I mean, like realistically, like, you know, he still had that core at the time, but he could have gone for LeBron in 2010. He just would have had to dump some of his players. He didn't do that. He didn't go for LeBron in 2014. He didn't go for James Harden this year. He didn't go for Kawhi when the Raptors got him. And he's always had the assets. The dude is like the greatest person in the world at stockpiling assets. What the hell have you done with them? Like he won't pull the trigger on anything. And then he gets these draft picks, and they have some great talent that just like I don't understand how they're underachieving to this point. And I don't understand why Danny Ainge, who has been on successful teams as a player and has put together a champion as a GM, can't see why what this roster needs. It baffles me because I feel like I could fix the Celtics.
Yeah.
I mean, like they're so talented. If you keep Jason Brown and Jalen Tatum, I feel like I could put a working team around them. And what I say about Brad Stevens is I don't know if he has the pulse of the team. Like I don't know if they're really listening or vibing to what he says. I'm not saying that they maybe need a new voice. I think Brad Stevens is one of the top 5 or 6 best coaches in the NBA. So I'm not saying they need a new voice, but it does seem like the Celtics roster has checked out a bit on him, and I'm not sure why that is.
They could have got Vooch. They could have got Vooch too. Yeah. I feel like if they would have pushed, because that was the first rumor I heard. Like it was shocking to see Vooch go to the Bulls. It's like if you're the Celtics, you give up everybody but Brown and Tatum, throw Vooch in there with Kemba Walker or whatever. I mean, better than what they have for sure.
100%.
And they were already talking. I'm not going to let me jump in. I don't want to blame Ainge, okay? Because Ainge drafted Brown. Okay, when he drafted Brown, and in this, he had great athleticism, Brown, but that was a bit of a reach, and he worked. Tatum, he took Tatum. Kemba Walker, he brought him to town. He let Kyrie walk. Okay, that was better for your chemistry. Robert Williams was touted as a fantastic athlete coming out of college. It's taken him more time to be more adult, I feel. Do Brown and Tatum work together? Was Hayward the glue? I do believe that Brad Stevens' voice has fallen stale.
Yeah, true. Lamar, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with Jack. Brad Stevens' voice has fallen stale. And when you watch the Celtics, it's a lot of one-on-one basketball. One time down the court, here comes Tatum. Next time, Jaylen Brown, it's your turn. Kemba, it's your turn. And not playing together. They got the talent on the perimeter, but
do you think that's the players forcing it, though? Do you think that's the players forcing his hand, saying, we want the ball in our hands? Because as a good player, you want the ball in your hand.
But if you, as a coach, if that happened to you on your team and they were, do you know what I mean? Like, is that not on the coach if they start doing that? Grab them, bring them in, say, hey, guys.
I can beat all my players in one-on-one, so they can't say anything to me. No, I'm playing. No, for sure. Like, and obviously X's and O's wise, you see like out of timeout plays, you see the plays they run. When they do run the plays, he has some of the best for sure. I've studied him. I understand that, but I just think like there's so much pressure, media pressure, and then you hear like these guys are the team. Like they make more money than anyone in the building. Like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Like these guys, they're the whole organization. So they're kind of having like that LeBron effect. Like obviously there's no one else like LeBron that can control an organization and make it successful, make the right calls, tell who to trade, tell who to put in. But it's starting to have that trickle down effect on guys that don't deserve it. Yeah. And don't get me wrong, those guys are really good players, but they need someone to tell them what they should be running or what they should be doing, because it's not easy to do it all yourself. And that's why I commend LeBron. And I'm not a big LeBron fan, but
Steve, who would you rather?
Me either.
Steve, who would you rather keep, Brown or Tatum?
Ooh.
Tatum.
Because I'd rather Brown. I think he facilitates a little bit better. Tatum's might be a better talent, but I think that Brown's a better passer. Like Brown, to me, he could be what Jimmy Butler does for Miami. I don't know if that's true totally, but
he's a little more physical. He's more physical too.
And the toughness thing, right?
Yeah, but could it be that Tatum just is, maybe he's not the man? So if he was combined maybe with somebody a little better, went to somebody, maybe Tatum could blossom. Do you get what I mean? Like, to me, he is the man in Boston. And sometimes, and I hate to say this, but Tracy McGrady was great. He was a great player. But when he was the man, he didn't do it. He needed the man on his team for him to be great.
I mean, Tracy McGrady in Orlando, though
he wasn't that, but he wasn't that.
Never made it out of the first round.
Yeah, he just wasn't that. He wasn't that dominant. Going to tell you what to do.
He was dominant on the court.
Yeah,
he was dominant on the court, but he wasn't going to say anything, which
exactly
you need as a leader. And that's why, like, I'm not even a big Chris Paul fan, but he'll tell you how it is, and he'll tell the players how it is, even though. You know what I mean? He's not always dominating the court, but he'll keep the team in line.
Yep, 100% that leadership. All right, guys. Well, I mean, we got into a lot today, and I'm very happy that everybody was here today. And I'm sorry that I kind of messed that up, but we'll get that fixed again. And Stephen Potsy, I appreciate it, man. Everything that you do.
Definitely. Hey, I'm always willing to come back. I hope I can chat with you guys soon again, man. This is awesome.
Dude, thanks, dude. You're awesome.
100%, man. We'll have you back again. Lamar, thanks again. I know you got the same thing as him, that West Coast. You guys popping on it right after you get off of work. And so I appreciate it, Lamar. Jack, as always, pleasure.
I'm happy to hang out with you guys.
And Liam, once again, dude, you bring it all. I love the shirts. Can't wait to see who you get next week. Who you pull out of the back of that closet.
I got a lot of jerseys.
We got to get you a magic one. I'll
order one. I got you, man.
If you get them from EDF.
Terrence Ross, how about that?
Get a Terrence Ross one. Send it in. I'll get it signed for you.
Oh, let's go.
There you go.
Man.
Right here.
All right.
Again, I appreciate everybody. For everybody, go check out theeverydayfan.com, please. Check out our shop, memorabilia shop. You can see some of the stuff behind me that I stole for myself, but I got plenty of stuff there. So please give it a shot, give it a shout out, come and look at it. We will do this once again. Again, thank you, everybody. Catch the TRoss show. They're going to do a live show tomorrow. Well, it will be today when this comes out, but so what would that be? On the 8th of April? What time is it going to be?
It'll be 8:30 on the East Coast, and we'll have Michael Carter Williams and Cole Anthony. We'll be doing the opening of the NBA Top Shot pack for our tournament winner, for the NCAA bracket tournament winner that we put on.
Nice. Yeah.
And then we'll just be talking. We'll be talking hoops. Probably talk some Roy Williams with Cole. Talk Michael Carter Williams' new podcast, Mic'd Up. A lot of good stuff.
Very sweet.
My rookie of the year. Let's go Sixers.
Triple double machine.
So check that out, everybody. And thanks for coming. And we'll see you next week on the Everyday Fan Podcast. Thanks all.